My name is Evelyn and I am 72 years old. I have lived most of my life in quiet solitude after my husband passed away nearly a decade ago. 4 years, my days followed a predictable pattern, waking up in my small home, tending to the garden, preparing meals, and spending evenings reading or watching old movies. Friends were few and family lived far away. Though the silence was comforting in some ways, there was an emptiness I couldn't quite name. I often told myself I was content. I told myself I didn't need anything more. But deep inside, I knew I was only going through the motions. One late autumn afternoon, the sun was dipping low and painting the sky with soft shades of orange and purple. I was sitting on the porch wrapped in a woolen shawl, watching the leaves fall when a knock at the door startled me. Opening it, I found a man in his early 40s standing there with a gentle smile. He introduced himself as Daniel, a new neighbor who had recently moved into the house down the street. He had heard about the community garden project happening nearby and was interested in getting involved. Though surprised, I invited him in for a cup of tea. What began as a brief conversation stretched into hours. We talked about our lives, memories, and hopes. He shared stories about his childhood, his travels, and his passion for community work. I spoke hesitantly about my past, about my late husband, and how life had gradually quieted down for me. Days turned into weeks, and Daniel became a familiar presence in my life. We spent mornings working in the garden together, planting bulbs for spring and restoring old benches. His energy was infectious, and for the first time in many years, I found myself laughing freely and feeling truly seen. One afternoon, as we sat on the garden bench sipping lemonade, Daniel said something that stayed with me. "You've got so much life in you, Evelyn. It's waiting to bloom again." I looked at him unsure. Was it really possible to feel that way at my age? Could my story still have chapters yet to be written? Inspired, I decided to take small steps. I started attending local art classes, something I had loved in my youth but abandoned when life became complicated. The smell of paint and canvas brought back memories I thought were lost. I began to reconnect with old friends, reached out to family members I hadn't spoken to in years, and even planned a short trip to visit a nearby lake that had always called to me. Each moment felt like a gift, a reminder that life, no matter how many seasons have passed, holds infinite possibilities. One chilly evening, Daniel and I organized a neighborhood potluck. People from all walks of life gathered, sharing food, stories, and laughter. I watched the young and the old mingling, and a warmth filled my heart. That night, as the stars blanketed the sky, I realized that the loneliness I had once accepted was not my destiny. It was simply a chapter that had made space for new beginnings. I am not the same woman I was a year ago. I have learned that age is not a limitation but a testament to resilience and wisdom. I have learned that kindness, connection, and courage can transform even the quietest life into a vibrant journey. My story isn't about romance or dramatic change. It's about the quiet power of friendship, the strength in vulnerability, and the endless potential to rediscover joy. If you ever find yourself thinking it's too late, remember Evelyn's story. Because every day holds a chance to bloom anew.